We move on to the next topic, the referees. The referees. Do we need VAR in the PSL? Yes, no?
We were chatting to Kamza last week, and it's yes, but I don't think we have the funds to pay for VAR. We don't have the funds to pay for the spray yet, was what Kamza said. we haven't even got the spray yet.
I read an interesting story. Interesting story in the Sunday Times on yesterday. Interview with both acting CEOs of the PSL and of the mother body SAFA, and both are saying, look, we desperately need to have VAR, but then at the same time they are saying, based on our research, and this is also Jerome Demon saying this, it takes 2 years to actually get it up and running. So people might be making all types of noise about, I heard Rulani the other day, if it wasn't running out of time, it's
the VAR, how much we need.
Okay, people are gonna start thinking I have something against.
Hold Rulani. It right there, Mazola.
So it's gonna take two years to implement VAR. So we might as well just slouch back and be comfortable and be content with the refereeing bloopers that we are seeing, because we are some distance away from actually having VAR, and also not forgetting the funds. It's the funds, how much it's actually going to cost, because the infrastructures are there. We hosted the 2010 World Cup. We have the stadiums that can do that. And one of the issues is that clubs do not own stadiums. So if clubs do not own stadiums, it becomes difficult then to negotiate with the stadium management to say, can we install this system, and can we trust you that you will take care of it and maintain it, because we spend so much money to put it here. And then you talk about the actual process of getting it installed, and then the manpower to have more referees. As it is, referees are not full-time employees of the federation. You get called in as and when. There is a stipend, yes, if you're on the panel or whatever, if you're on the roster, but you can easily be taken off based on your mistakes and what have you. So that means the association then has to hire more guys to actually be the video assistant referees sitting in there. It's more costs.
The other thing, as Velile mentioned last week, not all ABSA Premiership games are televised. So you have a situation where you have a game where an incident happens in a game that wasn't televised and there is no VAR. So VAR will only sort out the problem if the game is actually recorded on video. So you may still have incidents, even if what you ideally want is a television deal where all the games are broadcast.
And also
so it's transparent across the games. Otherwise you'll have chairmen of other clubs going, but my team's never playing enough televised games for this system to be put in place.
And who gets to benefit more? Are we prioritizing the top flight first, and then the Glad Africa Championship second, and then the lower division? Like it's messy. It's Africa. Africa is messy. Africa is messy.
If you remember when I think I remember it was about a year ago when Jerome Domino was sitting in that training for VAR. You were saying, it has taken him 2 years to understand it, first of all.
Yeah.
For him to fully sit down and get a grasp of what it all means and what it entails and how he's going to get involved. But I just believe that, SAFA, somehow they made some mistakes. They fast-track some referees to try and get them there within the setup. And you realize when they are sometimes found wanting. Especially offside decisions for me are the most critical ones, because those are the ones that are game-changing decisions. Absolutely. The two against Amazulu, the one the Chiefs won against Baroka with, the two in the final now, which were called wrong. So all those come back to bite us. There was also an incident where there was a red card issued against Onispo Basera.
Yeah.
Supersport never complained, never went to actually file and to have it rescinded. It stood. But that, if you look at that, you realize that should have been Klubi, should have walked on the day, because he stepped on top of the player when the ball was gone, And those decisions for me are the ones that when I sit down and say, okay, why are we allowing these?
Yeah.
We look at the awards last year. Last year, the referee of the season awards. Yeah. You had Victor Gomes amongst the finalists.
He was the most talked about and controversially so. Yeah.
Yes. Abongile Tom eventually walked away with it to be the referee of the season. But assistant referee was Sean Olive. And Sean Olive actually had a lot of decisions which we asked a lot of questions about when he came to his duty as a second, because he's mostly a second assistant referee, where he missed a lot of offsides, so he missed a lot of things. But when you speak to the entire crew and you talk to your Natatitas, they'll tell you, know what, these are the referees we're looking at. You talk to the head of referees, they'll tell you that these are the referees we are bringing up. You know, change is not good for some. The senior referees are feeling that they're being sidelined, so hence they're having a massive gripe around it and so forth. Give them time, give them chances. And there's also that argument that you always have to say, how many mistakes does a player make on a field of play versus a referee? Because that argument always comes back. You know, if I go on air now and I say something wrong factually, they will kill me. They will chastise me. They'll forget that you know Brian. They'll kill me and say, where did he get that from? What are you talking about? You see, so there's certain elements of the game that should not be allowed to go on. You know, and I believe that SAFA knows they have a problem. The PSL doesn't run the referees. SAFA runs the referees. They have a problem. They must fix the problem. VAR, yes, I'm not a fan of VAR, I have to say. I'm not a fan because I believe it kills the momentum. The stop goal kills it, you know. But I mean, the way they implemented it now in the English Premier League, I think they've done it very well. Because they allow the game to run, the referee will quickly go and have a look and come back. So maybe we need to go that direction eventually.
Brian, you mentioned that SAFA needs to fix the refereeing problem. Do you think the referees disclosing which team they support should be?
then Mazolman needs to disclose. Mazola disclose which team he support. I'm a Swallows fan.
I think there's a good argument that if you're an assistant referee and you're a Kaiser Chiefs fan,
you
can be trying your absolute hardest not to be biased at all. But you're a Chiefs fan, and you're sitting there and there's a narrow offside, and you're like, it's just like subconscious. Your flag goes up and it's wrong. Isn't it?
I won't get
think you should disclose it,
one.
and you should not be allowed. The problem we have in South Africa is most of them are probably Chiefs or Pirates fans. So who would ref the Chiefs or Pirates?
But then also somebody will come back and say to you, then if you're saying that, then the Limpopo referee shouldn't be reffing a Limpopo game. Because they'll have the same argument to come and say, I was born in Limpopo, I could be a fan of Black Leopards. Why am I in the middle when Black Leopard is playing?
Yeah, but okay, we are being
we're playing devil's
we are being petty and playing devil's advocate in that scenario. But look, my thoughts is that it should be like that, but because of the unique situation in our country especially, and I'm sure all over Africa as well, you've got big teams and then you've got incredibly extremely small teams that have a small following. So, you know, naturally you'll have your Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns
with the big numbers. And you'll have a lot of your, you know, Soweto, Gauteng based match officials that by nature with their parents, family members would be aligned to those teams. So if they disclose, you know, I mean, who would referee a Chiefs game? Who would referee a Pirates game? So, you know, I don't necessarily think it's necessary, you know, and my view is that you can also be a journalist and be a fan of a particular team and write objectively. I don't.
Yeah, you can.
You can.
No, I agree.
You can. So
I'm not saying anything.
No. I'm just pointing. I'm not trying to have a go at Brian for mentioning that he supports Moroka Swallows. Therefore, I should disclose who I support or whatever.
Do you want to disclose who you support?
I've always said it here that I'm a Free State Stars fan. I don't see what the issue is. But the problem is because it's Free State Stars, people are like, oh, okay, it's Free State. If I say Kaiser Chiefs, my Twitter will be buzzing. Yeah. If I say Orlando Pirates or Sundowns, my Twitter will be buzzing. So because of the stature of the team, people don't take it. People just ignore it when I say I'm a Free State Stars fan. They just ignore it because they're like, Free State Stars, whatever. Yeah, but if I mention the other three teams, and I suspect it would be the same with the match officials as well. If Victor Gomez says he's a Pirates fan, but if Victor Gomez says he's a Stellenbosch FC fan, you know, I don't think there'll be that much of a hullabaloo about it. It's, you know, so I don't think it's a space we need to go to, especially with the sensitive state of match officiating.
But I do think what it points at a deeper level is that the training of refs is not up to a good enough standard, and that's where the basic.
So where's the outsurance money going?
Yeah.
Where's the outsurance money going?
If the referees were making less mistakes, human error is human error. It'll happen. But if they were making less mistakes and they were getting trained better, what I would assume, then you wouldn't. I mean, you have an outcry for VAR anyway, but what we're seeing is horrendous mistakes all the time at the moment, and it's just not acceptable.
Yeah, and it's every season.
I
mean, every
So that's
season,
the
season
problem. Same
in,
thing.
season
Yeah.
out, we are calling.
VAR is imperfect. I mean, Brian said he likes the VAR in the English Premier League now. I'm not so sure, but it's just like.
Yeah.
I mean, all I'm
I mean,
seeing
there's
is
some
like
crazy
amateur maths lesson
Yeah.
with someone drawing a line here and another line, and it's
Yeah,
just
there's
like,
some crazy decisions.
this guy's
you know-
toenail was offside,
You
so
know-
it's
you-
offside. Or it's,
you know what is a nice thing about football is that it always allows us to have an argument way beyond the game.
yeah.
And I think VAR is going to take that away from us. Because now when I'm sitting down with Mazola and trying to have a discussion, we'll be saying, oh, what a good game that was, and you'll move on.
I don't think I disagree, Brian. I don't think it has. I mean, I look at all the top European leagues that have VAR. You listen to the pundits at halftime or after the game. They are still debating about whether
Yeah.
that was
I
the
mean,
right call or
offside.
not.
Look, let's just take as an example, Percy Tau had a brilliant game for Bruges the other day. Sergio Ramos scored a goal in that game. That was offside. I don't care what VAR said.
Yeah.
VAR said
Yeah.
it was onside. That goal was offside.
Yeah, absolutely.
Still
There you
offside.
go.
So
There
there
you
you
go.
go.
Human beings are watching VAR also.
Yeah.
Remember that part.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to bring in fairness in that because it was it went to VAR and it was decided it was offside, therefore you shouldn't be. It will bring some sort of fairness, the same way goal line technology has.
Yeah.
You've got. I mean, just this weekend, obviously, as Chelsea fans, we were watching. Tammy Abraham score a goal that on any other day, if they didn't have goal line technology, that wouldn't have been given. So goal line technology, VAR, and the spray. I'm just kidding. brings an element of justice, but I don't think it takes away from the debate. We'll still talk about it and say Sergio Ramos was offside.
Exactly.
Goal line technology is way better because the thing just goes off on the ref's watch and then get on with the game. It's a goal or it's not.
And
a
you
goal.
can't argue with that because even when they do the technology, you can see that the whole circumference of the ball has crossed the line. But
Guys,
VAR,
I'm old school like that. I still believe that I need to walk around and find Bravusi calling me and saying after the game when I put the mic down, he's gonna say, that was not a goal. And you're gonna have the discussion from.
But I don't think that changes. I really think that doesn't change because even if VAR calls it offside or rules disallows a goal or whatever, I think if you're still watching it and because even the commentators and everyone still say pretty close because
Don't bring us into this.
Why do they have 12 cameras? I mean, in the Champions League, for instance, they've got 12 camera angles. Why? Because it's tough. There'll still be human error, I think. They're trying to say it's near impossible for human error with VAR, but I'm pretty sure we're still gonna have those.
I've seen
debates.
some matches where VAR got it wrong, and I've said, but why you pay so much money for this if he's gonna get it wrong still?
Well, also, last week we were talking about the Champions League final where VAR didn't even work.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, that supposed replay where VAR was not plugged in, and then the second leg.
Going back to my question of if a referee should disclose who they support, I think they should. Is anybody going to ask me why I think they should?
Go ahead, tell us.
Yeah.
Listen. In the recent game, Chiefs versus AmaZulu, the linesman Umevin Van Veek, who's been stripped of his badge, by the way, got it wrong on two calls wrong, and
the first one I think he got it right. I think it was an offside call. The second one, however,
The second one was wrong.
The second one was wrong.
Because the player that eventually played the ball was not offside at all.
And then suddenly there was a picture that was circulating on social
With
media
him in a
with
Chiefs
a
jersey.
gentleman with a Kaiser Chiefs jersey on, and they looked alike. And fans of the opposite team, they were livid.
They fetched him.
They really fetched him. The guy had to come out and say, "Guys, this is me. This is not the referee. It's me." So I think that way, when they disclose who they support, it's going to give the panel that chooses referees an opportunity to say, "Okay, we are not going to put Umazola to be in charge of Orlando Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs because Umazola is an Orlando Pirates fan and it's going to be
but I don't know,
biased in a
Lerato,
way."
about that because okay, let's talk about some of the top referees in our country. there can always be question marks about Victor, but Victor is a top referee.
Yeah, he is definitely.
Daniel Bennett, Christopher Harrison. Okay, he's been out of the picture for some time now, but when he was doing well, he was considered top referee. You can even go back to when Jerome Demon were referees, when Abo Ace Ngobo were referees. You telling me those gentlemen, if they were even our top female referee right now, if she were to disclose, if Akona were to disclose that she's a Chiefs fan, are you telling me that you're suddenly going to sideline her from being? You're telling her she can never be objective. Is that what you're saying? If referees disclose, you're telling me top referees can never be objective. You have a final and you need a top referee with FIFA badges to be in charge, and you're telling me no, you can't referee this game. Would rather go for a youngster that's wet behind the ears, that's definitely prone to make an error of judgment, instead of a top referee just because they said they support the said team.
No, I think that would be very unfair. I mean, we all have our own teams that we support.
Yeah.
Even and when you go there, you realize I'm at work. I need to be objective. I need to do the right thing. I need to work very hard and make sure that I show what needs to be done. Absolutely. I think that's just about it.
Also, if I'm looking for a job in a referee in South Africa, I'm just going to tell them I support JBL Stars, because I know they're going to give me big jobs. Yeah. I'm not going to tell them I support Chiefs or Pirates, even if I do, because I know that's going to exclude me immediately from big games involving Chiefs and Pirates.
So it doesn't matter as long as the referee does the right thing.
They have to be objective. Does do the job. If you and the referees review committee have been doing that. If you get it wrong, you get suspended. You get sent to the lower divisions. You don't get the stipend that the top division referees get. So it's fair enough. You feel it and that's where it hurts the most, in your pocket. And then you come back rehabilitated because you know, if I repeat the same error, my 5K a game is gone now. You know, so there you go.
Okay. Something I said to the SAFA guys, I think it was when the under 23 was playing Angola. They had a seminar in Sunnyside or something where they were training the referees. And I said to them, something you guys are not doing right is that you are distancing, you're separating the referees from the public. You always make referees become these special people, special breed that have been brought into this world. So you need to therefore be able to share and let the referees interact, let them be there. Because by putting them there and letting the public be there, or the media is here, the referees are there. You find we're always going to find errors, because we believe that they believe that they're bigger than us. You know, but when you bring them together and make sure that the key theme becomes for the betterment of the game, that will always work going forward.